Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Quick Business Tips. We're going to talk about something that affects so many of us, and that is imposter syndrome. So if you are feeling this way, you are not alone. We're going to take a look at what it looks like and how it might be holding you back in your business. So if you've ever had that feeling where you're doubting your skills and abilities, and even some of your past accomplishments, that is imposter syndrome. It is this sneaky little voice in the back of your head telling you that you're not good enough, you don't belong here. And as a small business owner, this can be especially frustrating because it might be affecting your success with your business. And you might not even be realizing that it's happening. So here are some ways that you can spot it. And once you're able to identify it, we can try to take some steps to tone it down just a little bit. If you've ever landed that big project with a perfect client for you, and you should be celebrating, popping the champagne, going out to dinner, but instead you're worrying about whether or not you're going to be able to deliver and meet the client's expectations. If that is something that is ringing true to you that you've experienced before, well, that's imposter syndrome. The other way that you can identify it is if you're at a networking event and you feel like you don't belong in this room with these people because you feel like they've accomplished more than you have, or they've been in business longer than you, and you're just feeling like this is not your place to be, like you want to just, walk right back out that door that you came in. That's also imposter syndrome. And here's the thing. It's not some magical, mystical force that is controlling your life. It's simply a mindset, and like any other mindset, we can change it. But the first step is you have to recognize it. You have to be able to identify it and label it, and then we can start to address this problem head on. And I will tell you from personal experience, this is not a one and done. So imposter syndrome kind of comes and goes. I've seen it in friends and clients who, we're able to share in our pain, because if you are running your own business, if you're putting yourself out there on social media, if you're trying to navigate your personal brand, you've probably experienced it at one point or another. You might be wondering, but how is this affecting my business, right? Still landed the big client, still got a huge contract signed. It's not holding me back. And here's the problem. When you doubt yourself, you lack confidence, you tend to be unsure about your decision making, and you might even avoid opportunities. Choose not to attend networking events, choose not to send out that proposal to that client. So you might just avoid things that could lead to even more success for your business. So imagine the opportunities that maybe that little voice in the back of your head is like, nope, that's not you. You don't belong there. You're not good enough. You shouldn't apply for that consulting position, or you shouldn't respond to that RFP, or you shouldn't go to that networking event. That's for real successful business owners. But there's good news. You can combat this imposter syndrome so that you are able to move your business to that next level of success. The first step is to practice self-compassion. So talk to yourself, not to the way that most of us talk to ourselves. And I will tell you, I am my own biggest critic. But when I am my best self, I talk to myself the same way I would talk to my best friend, or the same way that I would talk to that 10-year-old little girl who wants to run the best lemonade stand she's ever run, And if you are able to just stop and take a breath and talk to yourself the way that your best friend would talk to you. And acknowledge that nobody is perfect. And to give yourself a little extra grace. To know that you have amazing strengths and everyone has weaknesses. And that's okay. And, look back at those successes that you've had in the past. Look at how far you've come in your business. And look at how many things you've learned from mistakes or failures or challenges. That is a great first step to silencing that imposter syndrome. The next thing that you can do is surround yourself with a network of people who really support you, who want to lift you up and encourage you and are truly happy when you find success. And, whether this can be fellow entrepreneurs or mentors or coaches, someone who's able to share your experience with you and to tell you, yeah, I've been there too. I get that. It's always nice to know that you're not the only one experiencing this thing, right? So the third thing that you can do is to, again, I talked about this a couple steps earlier, but look back at your successes. I mean, really take just 5-10 minutes to think about how far you've come just this year, or how many big wins you've had this month. You can even keep a success journal where you jot down all of those little wins, because it's so important to celebrate little wins, not only to silence that imposter syndrome, but also those little wins help motivate you to keep doing the things that are going to lead to even bigger wins. So having that success journal is great to be able to look back on when you're just, having one of those days where you need a little boost. It's also important to set realistic goals and break them down into manageable steps. And then I like to celebrate when I have accomplished those manageable steps, because it's not just the end result that I'm working towards, it's also little steps along the way that lead to that big success. And don't ever be afraid to seek out a coach or a mentor or some professional to help you really dig deep, especially if this imposter syndrome is affecting your well-being. Talking to a business coach or a therapist can provide you with insights and strategies and steps that you can take that are much more personalized and can really help you get past this and help you deal with it when it comes up again. But always remember that you're not alone in experiencing imposter syndrome. It's a common hurdle that most, if not all, entrepreneurs and business owners face. And if you're aware of it and you're able to label it, give yourself some compassion, surround yourself with a support system, you can overcome that imposter syndrome and really move your business to that next level of success. I hope you found this helpful and insightful. And if you have any questions or want to share your experience, please reach out. And don't forget to join me next week for another episode where we'll cover even more business strategies for success in your journey. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep dreaming big and believing in yourself. I'm Jennifer with Limitless Impact Agency.